Residents of the Sergeant's Village Christchurch area were awakened to the sound of gunfire as a 20-year-old man was shot and injured. The residents say he is known as Polo and lives in the area. According to police, the incident took place around 6 o'clock. The victim was reportedly shot in the lower abdomen and ran a few meters before collapsing. He was then rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital to undergo emergency surgery. Now, while neighbors remain tight-lipped about the details, police say their investigations are continuing. And a Barbadian and 2 Vincentian nationals are the latest to be charged with drug-related offences. They are 47-year-old Justin Selman of Lot 3A, Berlin Road, St. Philip, along with 38-year-old Francois Asima Ironsi Roberts of Dorchester Hill and 24-year-old Makita Crystal Derrick of Glen St. George, St. Vincent. The non-nationals, Roberts and Derrick, arrived on the same flight from St. Vincent last Friday. Derrick's luggage was searched by customs personnel, and 3 plastic bottles containing a liquid substance suspected to be cocaine were found in a black pouch concealed in her suitcase. Roberts and Derrick were both arrested and charged with possession of cocaine, possession with intent to supply, trafficking, and importation. Further investigations by police led to Selman's arrest. He's been charged with the offence of acts preparatory to traffic a controlled drug, and all 3 appeared in the District B Magistrates Court yesterday. The Vincentians pleaded guilty to the charges and were remanded to Her Majesty's Prison at Dodds to reappear in court on September 8th for sentencing. Selman pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the sum of $7,500 with 1 surety. He is to reappear in court on September 29th. Still on police news, a drug eradication exercise by lawmen yesterday netted more than 4,000 cannabis plants. Police say members of the drug squad, assisted by the Tactical Response Unit and the Barbados Defence Force, conducted the eradication operations in several areas. These included Vaughan Land and Coffee Gully in St. Joseph, Ashford and Lemon Arbor in St. John, along with Arthur Seat in St. Thomas. A total of 4,025 cannabis plants were seized. No arrests were made. And a local commercial bank is dismissing suggestions that the local banking sector has not been reducing interest rates on loans in the wake of the central bank's removal of a minimum savings rate. CIBC First Caribbean's Managing Director for Retail and Business Banking, Mark St. Hill, is therefore challenging anyone to produce evidence to the contrary. He says the banks have actually been very aggressive in offering more attractive interest rates.
Loan and mortgage rates continuously have fallen, and this is not even as a reaction to reduction in MSR. I returned to the island since 2004, and if you do your studies, you will see that loan rates have dropped year on year. So it has been driven not only by reductions in MSR, but the fact that banks are trying to find ways to deploy their capital, and that the market pressures, the competitive pressures between the banks have reduced rates significantly. And I challenge anyone to do the research.
His comments were supported by the bank's Managing Director for Barbados Operating Company, Donna Wellington.
Over the last year, savings rates may have dropped 2%, whereas over the last, I would say, 2 years, the loan rates on mortgages, for example, have dropped, and the press has clearly been having those ads in the papers and everything. You'd have seen mortgages drop from in the 7% range, and now you can see mortgages in the 4.5 range. You know, it's a lot. The drop in interest rates for loans has greatly improved over the drop in savings rates. So that's real.
Residents in the parishes of St. Andrew and St. Thomas will experience water outages from nighttime tomorrow. The Barbados Water Authority says this is due to exceedingly low water levels in its Castle Grant Reservoir. As a consequence of the low water levels, there will be a shutdown to some of the pipelines in that system from 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. starting from tomorrow. This is to allow the reservoir to replenish. Residents expected to be affected are those living in White Hill, Moose Bottom, Farmers, Port Springs, Dunscombe, Rock Hall, Church Road, Hillaby, and surrounding districts. The BWA is advising them to store an adequate amount of water for the duration of the shutdown and apologizes for any inconvenience caused. Regional and international news up next.